Most people think you need a lot of money to travel, imagining fancy hotels and expensive dinners. But what if that day could be this weekend? What if I told you that the greatest adventures don't come with a big price tag? Travel isn't about spending money, it's about opening your heart to the world. I used to believe this myth too, scrolling through beautiful travel photos online. But then I met people traveling for months with very little money. They taught me a secret: the best travel experiences often cost nothing at all. This idea changed everything for me. Suddenly, the world didn't seem so out of reach. Adventure is a choice, not a purchase. You can find magic in a bustling local market just as easily as on a private beach. So I decided to prove it. I wanted to show that adventure is accessible to everyone right now. You don't have to wait for the perfect time or budget. You can pack a small bag, grab a little bit of cash, and go. This is the story of how I did just that. It is the story of a weekend trip that cost me only $50, and it turned out to be one of the richest travel experiences of my life. Let's dive into how it all unfolded. It started as a crazy idea. Could I travel to a new city for a weekend with only $50? Doubt crept in immediately. What if I ran out of money? What if I couldn't find a place to sleep? The rules were simple: $50 in cash, no credit cards, no emergency fund. This limitation was the whole point of the challenge. It would force me to be creative and push me out of my comfort zone. I chose a city a few hours away, a place I had never been to before. I packed my bag with only the essentials. Standing at the bus station, holding that single bill, I felt a mix of panic and pure exhilaration. This was it. The adventure was about to begin. As I looked at the $50 bill, I saw a test of my courage and creativity. It was a leap of faith into the unknown. I had no idea what the next 48 hours would hold, but I knew one thing for sure: it wouldn't be boring. I was trading comfort and security for the thrill of true adventure. And as I stepped onto that bus, I smiled. The challenge was on, and I was ready to face it head on. Let's see where this journey takes us. My first challenge was transportation. A train ticket would have used up half my budget instantly. So I found a regional bus service that connected small towns and cities. The ticket was unbelievably cheap, just $7. The bus wasn't fancy, but it was filled with real people, not tourists. The journey itself became part of the adventure. Instead of zoning out with my phone, I looked out the window. I watched the landscape change from familiar suburbs to rolling green hills. At one stop, a woman got on with a box of homemade pastries. She offered one to the driver and then to me. Riding that bus, I felt like I was getting a secret preview of the region. I listened to the conversations around me, feeling the rhythm of everyday life. The slow pace of the bus forced me to slow down too. It made me appreciate the journey itself, not just the destination. When I finally arrived in the new city, the sun was beginning to set. I stepped off the bus and into a bustling terminal. The total cost of my journey was just $7. I still had $43 left for the rest of the weekend. The ride had already given me a taste of the local culture. It set the tone for the entire trip: slow, simple, and connected. With transportation sorted, my next big worry was accommodation. A hotel was impossible, so the answer was a hostel. Hostels can be amazing, clean, safe, and incredibly social. For my $50 challenge, a hostel was my only real option. I used a hostel booking app on my phone before I left, using free Wi-Fi at a coffee shop. I found a place with a 10-bed mixed dorm for $15 per night. That meant my accommodation for the entire weekend would cost just $30. When I arrived at the hostel, it was even better than I expected. It was bright and colourful, with a large common area where people were cooking and sharing stories. My dorm room was simple, but the bed was clean and comfortable. Each bunk had its own curtain for privacy, a reading light, and a power outlet. The hostel also provided lockers to keep my backpack safe. That first night, I felt the true magic of hostel life. It's not just about a cheap bed, it's about the community. You are instantly surrounded by people from all over the world. Finding that hostel for just $15 a night was a critical part of my challenge. It left me with $13 for 2 days of food and fun. The mission felt more possible than ever. Let's see how I managed to stretch those dollars further. In the hostel's common room, I started making a simple dinner of instant noodles. That's when I met Leo, a student traveling on a tight budget. We decided to team up and explore the city together. Leo told me about a hidden hiking trail that offered a panoramic view of the area. This was exactly the kind of adventure I was looking for. The next morning we set out early, following Leo's hand-drawn map. We found the trail tucked behind an old stone wall. The path wound its way up the hill through a forest of tall trees. When we reached the top, the view was breathtaking. The entire city was spread out below us, sparkling in the morning sun. It was $1 million view, and it had cost us absolutely nothing. This moment was a powerful lesson. The best experiences aren't for sale. They're found through curiosity, connection, and a willingness to step off the beaten path. And sometimes they are shared with a new friend you just met. Let's see how we managed to eat on a dime next. With only $13 left for 2 days of food, I had to be smart. My strategy was to eat like the locals, avoiding tourist traps. My first stop was a morning bakery, where I bought 2 pastries for $1 each. This became my breakfast strategy for the weekend. For lunch and dinner, my main destination was the local food market. Markets are full of color, sound, and life. You find the street food stalls where you can get a real meal for just a few dollars. I found a stall selling grilled chicken skewers with peanut sauce. A plate with 3 large skewers and a side of rice cost just $3. It was a full, satisfying meal. I sat on a nearby bench and ate, watching the life of the market swirl around me. I bought a fresh mango for dessert for 50 cents. My meals were not just cheap, they were delicious and deeply connected to the place I was visiting. Eating this way, I spent less than $5 on my first full day of food. I felt like I'd eaten like a king. This taught me that a rich travel experience has nothing to do with a rich budget. Adventure is not something you buy, it is something you find. Let's see how following the locals led us to food heaven next. The journey continues. One of my best tips for budget travel is simple. Watch where the locals go. On my second day, Leo and I were wandering through a neighborhood far from the city center. We noticed a steady stream of people disappearing into a small unmarked doorway. Our curiosity took over, and we decided to follow them inside. We stepped into a small, brightly lit canteen packed with people. It was a point-and-choose style eatery. I chose a scoop of rice, a lentil stew, and some kind of spicy green vegetable. The total cost was $2.50. It was one of the cheapest and most delicious meals of my entire life. The flavors were complex and comforting. We sat at a shared table and the man next to us started a conversation. This experience was so much more than just a cheap meal. It was a moment of pure, authentic discovery. We felt like we had found a secret that was hiding in plain sight. You don't need a fancy restaurant to have an unforgettable culinary experience. Let's explore the magic of free adventures next. With my budget so tight, I had to find things to do that were completely free. This turned out to be a blessing. One of the best free activities is simply walking. Leo and I spent hours just wandering through different neighborhoods. Every corner we turned revealed something new. Many cities also have free museum days. We spent an afternoon at the city's main history museum, free on Sundays. We also found free entertainment everywhere we looked. In the main square, musicians played incredible folk music. The beauty of nature is always free. We took a local bus to the city's largest park. We spent the afternoon lying in the grass, reading books, and watching families fly kites. These simple moments were the highlights of my weekend. They were moments of pure joy that didn't cost a single cent. Let's wrap up with the real treasure of travel. As the weekend came to a close, I sat on the bus heading home, my wallet now empty. I had started with $50 and spent it all, but the success wasn't about the money. It was about what I had gained. I was coming home with a full heart and a mind full of new memories. I had made a new friend, discovered hidden places, and tasted real local food. This trip taught me a profound lesson. The real treasure of travel is not in the things you can buy. It is in the moments of connection and discovery. Adventure is a state of mind. It is about being curious, open, and brave. Money can make travel more comfortable, but it cannot make it more meaningful. I learned that I am more resourceful and resilient than I thought. This challenge pushed me to interact with the world in a way I never would have if I had a wallet full of cash. I talked to more people and listened more carefully. I saw more beauty in the simple things. I came back from this weekend feeling richer than if I had spent $1,000. So if you are dreaming of adventure, please don't wait. You can start now with whatever you have. The greatest adventures are waiting just beyond your comfort zone.